So if you've read that book and you have questions, this is a great episode because I want to talk a little bit about just a general way in which I'm watching the world take this information and use it. Second thing is I want to talk about setting you up right for the new year because there are some very, very specific things that I have done myself, that I've taught my patients over the years that will help you be able to succeed with your New Year's health goals. So we're going to go through those two things on this episode. Dr. Mindy here.
Your body is in a war zone.
Different parts of the brain get activated depending upon how stressed you are.
When you look at it from that inflammatory.
It's interesting. I mean, that has some merit to it for sure.
And you can't control everything.
I'd say.
And what about a woman who is not pregnant, but she's aiming?
Okay, resetters, it is the end of the year, and I'm coming to you with two things. First, massive gratitude for Fast Like a Girl and all of you that have applied the principles and have shared it with the world. I want to talk about what I learned in watching so many people use the principles in the book and how they've applied it, places they've gotten stuck. So if you've read that book and you have questions, this is a great episode because I want to talk a little bit about just a general way in which I'm watching the world take this information and use it. Second thing is I want to talk about setting you up right for the new year because there are some very, very specific things that I have done myself, that I've taught my patients over the years that will help you be able to succeed with your New Year's health goals. So we're going to go through those two things on this episode. But first, here's what I want to say to you. And I know that we have a lot of really dedicated listeners and a lot of people who are very dedicated to the principles that I teach. And I first want to just say thank you. When I came up with the idea of Fast Like a Girl, wanting to put it into a book, I knew what it would do for women. I knew it would help women lose weight. I knew it helped people balance hormones. And I'd seen it in my clinic. I'd seen it on my YouTube channel. But when you put a book out into the world, there is a moment where you know that millions of people are going to read it, they're going to apply it, and then you're going to get feedback on how the system that you've created is working. And what I have to tell you is that here we are a year after Fast Like a Girl was launched into the world. And because of the effectiveness of the principles I taught in there, your passion for your health and understanding your body, and so many of you who shared Fast Like a Girl with your friends and family, we sold over 500,000 copies of this book. And that's across all platforms. That's ebook, Audible, the hard copy across all the different countries. And I just have to say thank you. I am so excited that you loved the principles. I'm so excited that it worked for you. And we are way more powerful together. So for starters, I just have to say thank you. It has been one heck of a journey for me this year. And because of all of your enthusiasm for Fast Like a Girl, we are now putting together, and this is flash, like nobody's heard this yet outside of the few people on my team that know this and my online Resetter Academy. But we are now working on a cookbook. And the cookbook is going to have every question you've had about the sugar burner system. What breaks a fast? How do you break a fast? What are some great options for fasted snacks? What are some great options for drinking, different drinks we can drink? What do we need to know about eating for estrogen in the power phases when our hormones are low? What can we lean into food-wise during the manifestation phase, which is that ovulation period when hormones are high? And how do we navigate that week before our periods? And how do we do that with food? Fast Like a Girl really taught you what the power of fasting was and how you can dip in and out of these fasts around your cycle. Now I'm going to show you food, and we're going to dive deep into food. So I'm really excited for the cookbook. It'll come out at the end of 2024. So get ready for that. In the meantime, I make sure you have subscribed to my YouTube channel because I'm going to be doing a lot of different cooking videos for you talking about food so that we can make sure that you have mastered the sugar burner system. So remember, there are two systems. There's the fat burning system that you dip into when you fast, and there's the sugar burner system that you tap into when you eat. They both have healing capabilities. And so I really want to go into this sugar burner system and give you tools to make sure that you are using food to balance your hormones and to help you burn fat effortlessly. So I'm really excited to go into that. For my postmenopausal women, I've got you too. Don't worry. I know, one of the things I've said many times on my podcast, on videos, on interviews, that the hardest thing for me has been to explain these principles to three categories of women. Women that are cycling, women in perimenopause that don't always know when their cycle is coming, and postmenopausal women. So in the new cookbook, there'll be a lot of front matter that really breaks this down according to what time of life you are. So we're going to dive deeper into that, and that'll be available for you in that book. One of the things that I just want to give you some background into Fast Like a Girl that I think will help you grab these concepts even more. When I put and wrote Fast Like a Girl, I had already tested these principles on hundreds of thousands of people. So I knew the possibility of it for your health. What I didn't know at the time of writing that book is how thirsty you all were for understanding hormones and how to match your life according to your hormones. The reason that I want to really pull this out and talk about this is I discovered this year that we are living in a world that is hormonally illiterate. That means your doctor, when you step into your doctor's office, whether they're giving you supplements or giving you medication, they're not looking at it through the lens of hormones. One of the things that's happening right now in our culture is there's a lot of conversation about HRT and bioidenticals. Awesome. And we're not looking at those therapies through the lens of lifestyle. So one of the things I'm trying to bring to all of you is how to look at your hormones and understand them according to where you are in your time of life, and how do we match a lifestyle that will work with those hormones. If you choose to do HRT, if you choose to do bioidenticals, you'll see it. All the experts are saying there's no one size fits all, even with those types of therapies. So I'm going to continue to hold the line of helping educate you about your hormones and your lifestyle so that when you dip into things like hormone replacement therapy, or you decide to go into certain supplements that will support your hormones, or maybe you're a biohacker and you want to know when you should be doing saunas and cold plunges, I'm here to teach that to you and help you think that through for yourself. This is about empowering you through hormone literacy, and this is about empowering you through lifestyle. We cannot forget the power of lifestyle. When we look at chronic disease right now, chronic disease is happening not because of genetics. It is happening because we have not dialed in our lifestyle. And when you go to like podcasts like this or other podcasts you listen to or YouTube videos or social media reels, you're getting little pieces here and there of, hey, try this, try that. But what I want to help you do is fit it into a lifestyle that works for you. So know as we move into 2024, you're going to see more from me on hormone education so that you can make smart choices for yourself. And you're going to see more from me on lifestyle so that you're pairing your lifestyle to match where you are hormonally. And I want you to keep that lens, because otherwise I call it shiny object syndrome. What happens is we go to our socials, we see a reel where someone's like, hey, I tried X, Y, and Z diet. I lost 30 pounds in 30 days. And all of a sudden everybody jumps over and they start to try that diet. It might work for some, not for others, but we lose the foundational idea that there's no temporary fix for our health, especially when it comes through hormones. There is way you should be eating. There's a way you should be fasting. There's a way you should be exercising. There's supplements you can take. There's sleep you need to think about. There's mindfulness tools. There's so many things that you personally need to do to bring together so that you are making a path for yourself to love living in your body, to feel good, and to avoid chronic disease. So if you find yourself, especially as we're getting close to the new year, really caught in that idea of, I need the one thing that's going to get me out of the misery that I'm experiencing in my body or the misery I'm experiencing in your mind, I want you to rethink that and ask yourself, where are my hormones at? And what's the lifestyle I need to build to match my hormonal profile? And we're going to do this together because I'm so excited about the passion that you all have for understanding hormones and lifestyle. It is time. If we want to end infertility, PCOS, autoimmune conditions, menopausal ups and downs and struggles, cancers, hormonal cancers, Alzheimer's, it all is going to start with your lifestyle. And the cool thing about lifestyle is that for the most part, it's inexpensive. Once you figure out how to dial in your lifestyle, the way I'm teaching it, especially, I'm considering the fact that many of you are struggling financially. And some of you are struggling because your life is too packed and too busy, and you don't know how to fit certain lifestyle tools in because of the demands of your life. So over the next year, 2024, we're going to do this together. We're going to help you build this lifestyle that balances your hormones. But maybe I should say, and I really need you to stay curious about this incredible female body you live in so that you are discovering the path for you. In Fast Like a Girl, I talk about a concept called N of 1. N of 1, when we look at a research study, we look at it through the lens of how many people were studied. Now, one of the problems we've had with that is that we either don't have women isolated out, so we're packing men and women together when we study something, or we're looking at it through an animal lens. And I learned this recently that a lot of the animal studies, the mouse studies, are done on male mice. So we're not even looking at a female mouse when we're studying it. So this means we have hit a point where if we are studying a large group of people, like let's say 200, 300 people in a study would be really powerful. And we would call that N of 300. What I'm going to dedicate 2024 to is how do we discover the N of 1 for you, meaning you are the study. So as you're listening to a lot of these podcasts and guests that I'm bringing you, I want you to think about what's right for you. So if I show up and I say, hey, here is an incredible supplement that I found, and I interview somebody on that, or an incredible biohack, or an incredible approach to your life, I want you to be curious about how that works for you. I'm not trying to get you to think like me. I'm trying to give you tools to help you customize it for you. So that's a beautiful lens in which we can look at all the information that I'm delivering you. So that's really important that we now take, okay, we know we need as women to cycle in and out different parts of our lifestyle. Now, how do we do that for you? So just let that sink in for a moment. Second thing, New Year's. Okay, I was in practice for over 25 years, and my practice was largely lifestyle based. Every New Year's, I would do the first Saturday of the year, I would do a big talk to my patient base and any guests they brought. We had hundreds of people there, and we would together as a community set everybody up so that we achieve our health goals and we stay each year. By the way, you should get through the year at the end of the year and be like, I'm healthier this year than I was last year. Doesn't matter how old you are, doesn't matter what diagnosis you've been given. I want you to get to the end of 2024 and feel more empowered and feel like your health has moved forward because of the tools I'm about to share with you. And that's what we did within my practice, and it worked every single time. So here are the parameters for the new year that I want you to think about. First, and I've said this before, it depends on when you're listening to this, the worst time to start a New Year's goal is on January 1. And here's why. How many January 1s have you said, I'm giving up sugar, I'm giving up alcohol, I'm going to the gym, your enthusiasm is high, everybody around you is committing to their goals. So you fall into that rush of, I've got this thing I'm going to do with my health, and I'm going to go all in. And I'm going to start it on January 1. Again, depending on when you're listening to this, a lot of people will completely throw their health habits out as we get closer to the end of the year. And then they hold on to this idea that life's going to be different on January 1. You have a set of neurons. If you've failed at that approach, you have a set of neurons that already know any goal you do on January 1 is going to be a failure. So don't do that. Unless you have rocked your January 1s over and over and over again, don't do it. Start it a habit on January 1. Start it on January 2 or January 5. Don't fall into that habit where your neurons already think this is not going to work. It's a really powerful technique. So with that in mind, I can tell you what we have set up. And if you want to join in on it, much of it is free. Some of it is paid. This is if it resonates with you. First, we're joining forces with Hay House, and we are going to do a 3-day water fast. And that is going to be on January. It's going to go January 6th through the 9th. I've got a pre-call I'm doing on January 8th. We are expecting 100,000 people fasting together during this time. It'll be a 3-day water fast. I'm going to be on a call every single day. So I will do an intro call on the 8th. And then every day of the fast, I'm going to be there to inspire you and to keep you focused and moving forward. And then we will do a closing call to talk about what's next. I love this time for water fasts because water fasts are great ways to reset your body and then go into your New Year's resolutions. So if you have a 30-day sugar challenge you've got for yourself or some 30-day experience, do it after the water fast. Think of the water fast as you're cleaning the slate clean. You are resetting your metabolic system. For me personally, and what I did in my community and in my clinic for so many years, is we did a 3-day water fast at the beginning of January and a 3-day water fast in September. They are the best times to commit to your health. So if you want to join us for that, I'll leave the link in the notes if you're driving or walking and you want to know the URL for that. It's hayhouse.com/Pelz, Pelz. And you can join. There are free options. There's some lower payment options if you want to come into a VIP group. Again, this is about what feels right for you. But I want you to know that that is an incredible resource for you and a beautiful way to reset your health for the new year. Okay, second thing, I like every year to set an intention for the year. And this is why I do it, is that I want to have something that I'm going to learn about, that I'm going to focus on for my health. And I also like to think about what I want to focus on for my personal growth. So let's start with my health here. You know, the last year, and if you've been listening to this, you probably are like, oh, that's what she's been up to. But last year, my goal was to go into my traumas and to do therapy. I have spoken very publicly about some of the psychedelic journeys I've done. I've launched into breath work. some really intense therapeutic breath work. I want to bring my breath work guide onto my podcast for you all so you can meet her and hear what we've done together. But I had one singular focus, which was let's resolve these traumas. The year before, I had one singular focus, and that was how to learn how to balance my nervous system. So after all the years of working insane hours, 2 years ago, it was about balancing the nervous system. The reason this year, by the way, for myself, it's about brain. I want to understand everything I can about making my brain as strong, as creative, as resilient as possible. So I've already started. I love to start my New Year's focus at the end of the year. I hired a transcendental meditation expert who started teaching me TM. I've already started my TM experience. So that was one thing that I was looking at. I've got several new hobbies I'm learning, new skills I'm learning so that I can increase neuroplasticity. I've gone to my trainer and told her that I want to increase my strength training because I know the breakdown of muscle helps with BDNF so that I can not only focus on creating a stronger body, but that I can work on creating a stronger brain. That will continue. That brain focus will be the whole year. That is so much healthier and a more successful approach to your health than saying, okay, it's January 1, I got to lose 30 pounds. That will always set you up for failure. But if you say, oh, it's 2024 and this is the year I do everything I can to improve brain power, to improve metabolic flexibility, to learn how I can change my gut health, it allows you to keep playing with different principles throughout the year. There's no end result. There's only a journey that you're going on for your health. So pick something. And maybe it's you want to master food. Maybe it's you want to learn how you can go into longer fasts. Maybe it's you want to get better at metabolically switching. Maybe you need to detox and learn everything you can about detox. Or maybe it's time to understand how to use your lifestyle to improve your moods. Pick one big concept and then get curious about that and commit to that as the year goes on. Second thing I do personally is I pick a word. So last year, my word was connect. And the reason I picked connect is I had just been exiting out of my clinic and I had a whole community there. I had a huge patient base. And in order to serve the masses, I closed my clinic. It was a really hard thing to do, but I knew that I was being called to serve on a bigger level. So I had lost that connection with humans. And, last year was a little bit of us all coming out of the pandemic. So connect was my word. And it really was powerful. I connected with some incredible humans. I'm so grateful to have really learned and a lot from people who are authors, from people who are psychedelic experts, from people who are community builders. It was just a beautiful year of making a lot of new connections for me. I also wanted to connect to myself. So I really dove into the relationship with myself and how did I want to show up for myself. So I had this physical health goal and I had this intention for the year. And those two things always land me at the end of the year in a better place. I feel so good about what I did for my life and my health this year because of those two things. This year, my word is play. And that's because I have to remind myself to have fun. It was a hard year for me. I was on a plane almost every week and really trying to get Fast Like a Girl out to the world so that we could help more women with this free tool. So I'm going to learn how to dip into more playful activities, how to take more time off. That's my goal for 2024. So I just use myself as an example, and I want to encourage you to really think about what are you going to accomplish with your physical and mental health? What does that word or principle encapsulate? And then what do you want to bring into your life? So I wanted to bring more connection in. I did that. This year, I want to bring more play in. I have no doubt that I will do that. Those two have become guiding lights for me. So let me know if that's helpful. I just want to share what I know has worked. One of the challenges for those of you that have got great results with Fast Like a Girl or with your health, one of the challenges when you hit this place where you're like, I love this body I live in, I love my life, is that you can fall from that place. Once we get our health to a place that we love, it's easy for it to slip backwards. One of my favorite quotes is, nothing fails like success. Think about that for a moment. Once you hit all those major markers in your life, if you take your eye off of it and you don't have a next level or a next place you're going to, then it's really easy to slip backwards and to go to a place where your health used to be. So by creating one concept around my health for the year and one focus for my life, I never slip backwards. So let me know if that's helpful, but I'm excited to share that hack with you all. Last thing I'm going to say, who you hang around matters. So if you feel like you're fighting an uphill battle when it comes to your health and setting your goals, I want to really encourage you to surround yourself with cheerleaders and community that lifts you up. There's a lot of ways you can do that. On my YouTube channel, I'm always asking people to put comments, and you'll see, read the comments, reply to the comments. I'm trying to create community and the thousands of comments we get there every week. So there is, my socials, I've worked really hard to create that community vibe. We have a free fasting group on Facebook called the Resetter Collaborative. It has over 80,000 people in there that are dedicated to fasting. You can join that. We have several of my team members in there answering questions. So that is a beautiful place to build community and to stay focused on your fasting lifestyle. But I ultimately want you to think about, who are you hanging around, and do those people match what you want to create this year in your life? Because if you have big goals to lose weight and you're hanging around people that are not dedicated to their weight loss journey, or you have big goals to get fit and you're not hanging around people that are dedicated to their workouts every week, it becomes more difficult for you to be able to stick to your goals. So community matters. If those of you are like, I'm alone, I don't really have a place for community, please know that my Reset Academy is largely community-based. We do Saturday morning workouts together. I lead most of those calls. I lead most of those workouts. It's a beautiful place to come and get community. We also do every other month, we do a 15-day experience together. So I have set January up for everybody to succeed. So if you're needing that community, you're needing a proven plan, you can do the water fast with us and get community. And then we are doing our fat burner reset a week later. And it's a 15-day experience where I'm taking you through different fasts and different eating styles so you can learn how to become metabolically healthy. I have also added to that fat burner reset at the end of July a new track, which is muscle building. And that is really fun. So those of you who have been concerned about how fasting is doing for your muscle health, I have a whole new track in our fat burner reset for that. I also have a whole new 15-day experience for mood and using food and fasting to improve your mood. So there's a ton of fun over there. There's a ton of community. If that feels right for you and you want to join us over there, you can do that. If you want the free resources, we have the Resetter Collaborative. And then again, my YouTube channel has a great community over there. I love giving you all lots of different options. I'm here to walk the journey with you and help you find the right path that feels comfortable for you. That's why I'm giving you lots of options. But ultimately, this new year is a beautiful time to refocus. That's what it should be. It should be a refocus and a reset. That's why I love the word reset. And if you do this right, you will get to the end of 2024 and be so proud of the person that you created throughout the whole year. So from the bottom of my heart, I just want to say thank you for everything that you have done to amplify the mission of getting hormone literacy to the world. For those of you who have pushed yourself and tried longer fasts and tried mixing up your fasting lifestyle, or some of you had to mix up and eat more and do more hormone feasting foods. I love being on this journey with you, and I can't thank you enough for your reviews. I can't thank you enough for sharing everything out into the world. We are way more powerful together. And my commitment to you is that I promise to keep bringing you the best information that not only science has, but what we're learning about lifestyle and hormones and how to avoid chronic disease and really ultimately love living in the body that we are blessed to live in. So from the bottom of my heart, I hope you all had a beautiful holiday season, and let's all get healthy together in the new year. So hope that helps, and I appreciate you all so much.